What's up? What's up? What's up? 3 seconds till the open. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Let's see what happens here. Ooh. Who knows what's going to happen today? We've retraced the retrace. I don't really have a big clear picture of anything going on right now. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I don't have a clear picture of what happens here, to be 1,000% honest. How's everyone doing, though? Oh, I saw Trader Girl in here first. What's up, Trader Girl? Good morning. Vladimir. See Kyle sliding in here. Willie. Guys, I'm looking at big picture here. This is not where you really wanted to open up at all. Not where you really wanted to open up at all. Boy. Well, if you guys have anything that you're looking at, please let me know because we are completely in no man's land where I'm at. Just trying to get my bearings here a little bit. Hey, the gap's too big to fill. What's up, B plus? Morning. 7-2. Yeah. I look at the bigger picture. So like on ES, for example, we came down, did a golden retrace, and then a golden retrace within a golden retrace. I don't know man's land here. Yeah, Mario, I wonder. I mean, but the gap's really all the way down here. I mean, you could say that this gap possibly. Um, sorry, my son walked in here trying to get batteries for his little Halloween pumpkin. I don't have anything till 450, 420 on NQ. But if we hold like this area on ES, kind of looks interesting. All right, that's the spot on ES right there. Yeah, no trades for me yet. This is very interesting. This 450 to 425 is definitely an interesting area for me. That's the golden retrace of the golden retrace on NQ. Hmm. Yeah, I don't like this really. Yeah, just waiting for True Social to go off. I hear that. Yeah, it's kind of just exploring, dude. I was long last night, uh, right after the open, and caught about 100 points up to 25,000, and then I got out of that with some profit. Next thing I look back like 20 minutes later, and we're all of a sudden we're like down 250 points, and said, okay, we'll take a look in the morning. Could see where if we wick down here and close back up here, you're long back over 596. Oh, okay, hold on. I kind of want to take a shot here. Gonna wait for a little bit lower, and we'll see if Yeah, that came fast. I'm gonna try this like 430, 420 area. Gotta wait, gotta wait, I gotta wait. I really want to try along here. All right, let's just go along. All right, cross your fingers. Along 425. Oh, 495. I'm gonna trim. What I did like about this is we were at least at a pivot point over here and a whole number on ES. So I saw that as confluence. And then this was like the previous low. Should probably trim here. Yeah, I had 2 layers of confluence at 420s. I have I have 2 fibs drawn here that are all both lining up in the same spot. And I'd really like to go back to like 630s. All right, there's my trim. All right, 70-point gain, about a third. There we go. Sniper! How about that, 7-2? Wait, if this just goes back up, this is a stress-free day. Where is all my stuff? All right. You gotta trim back into this right here. The next spot is previous day's low. It could still come down here again. I do not want to risk anymore. My actual fill was 426. I just looked it up, by the way. Made sure and clarify that for the Discord right there. So I'm risking 7 points now after getting 70. We're good. Come on, give me 115 points here. I had this level from the other day, two fibs that lined up both right there. 426 was a previous low, and the fib from this like retracement extension was right there as well. See that? We should touch previous day's low. Oh, why does this look weird? Ooh, Edgeful updated on me this morning? There it is. Or sometimes all you need is one trade. Wow. So that's previous day's low on NQ. What I really would like to see is this previous day's low. And that's where I was headed on this. Previous day or outside days. Let's see if there's a confluence on this. Let's go to QQQ. Outside days. More times than not, it does reverse back up. Interesting. It's not a super strong stat. Let's see does SPY have a stronger 60% on SPY? So more times than not, and what this is saying, more times than not, you open up below the previous day's low, you open up down here and you come back and touch it. Well, I don't know what's going on with this music, but I am loving it. All right, there's 150 points already, guys. Trim if you haven't, if you took the long. Boy, we're not even 30 minutes in. We already got a great question is where do I take this? It's above the 5 o'clock high. What was yesterday's low here? 730s. Good Lord. Here you go, guys. Here's I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's my there's my channel over in Discord on this. There's my fill right there, just so I can show you guys 426. I don't think there's any way we're filling that gap today, though. I have so many fibs drawn on the chart. I apologize, guys. We just got so many things going on from different directions here. What a snipe, though. Previous day's low right there on ES. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and show you guys my Discord or anything. I was letting you know, same trade. I alerted it, and I wanted to show like, so because I have my like Project X and my different platforms. I have a huge monitor here in front of me, and I've got two other ones over here. But I will show you guys. I actually got a fill 426. So in case anybody doubted that I actually took the trade, blah blah blah. I know most of you didn't, but every once in a while I hear stuff. So I just wanted to show some proof that I actually took the trade there. I am in a Discord. If you guys know Minx and Rizzo from Spaces, that's who I'm in the Discord with. There's a link in my X bio. I'm not gonna, like I said, this isn't the place for me to sit here and chill. So SPX has to get back over 6,600. This could turn right back around too. That's why you got to lock in profit. Still left an unfilled gap there. Boy, would it not just be a beautiful day if we just track back up to yesterday's low? That would just make today so beautiful. Yeah, we do have Powell speaking later. Somebody posted that up earlier. I looked at it. It is at like the NABE. If you guys didn't know, you can go to federalreserve.gov, and on this calendar, everything that they're all doing is on here. Right here. Economic Outlook and Monetary Policy speech at the National Association for Business Economics annual meeting, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, NABE. Most of these speeches are pre-written. So what I would say is, if you're paying attention to this 12:20 Eastern, that transcript will get released when he walks out onto the stage, and all the bullet points will go out on all the news. and then he'll talk through it all. And then sometimes if he sits down and does like a what do you call it? If he does like a Q&A or like a sit down like round table or something, every once in a while you get some more out of it. But we're about to hit view up on ES, but we are trying to get back into previous day's range, which is the decent sign. Yeah, I just have a trim sitting right here. $200. Give me a 200-point trade here on a Tuesday morning. All right. Appreciate everyone. Watch SPX 6600 if it can get back over this and get over the opening print. Otherwise, watch out right here. Huge spot right there on SPX. Boy, I hope this is just a giant V-shaped recovery. Let the guys from yesterday get in. Boy, it's nice when a setup works out like that. That not always just work out that well. I've had that same trade go in my favor for 70 points, come back and stop me out, and then make this move. So I'm just glad that this just kind of went. I need to adjust this right here. Come on, give us one more push here. The reason I'm trying 426, not just because it's 200 points, but it's also this 430 area is a huge area. I didn't really have a report on Edgeful for that. I mean, part of it is going back to the previous date. So, like, we opened up and drove down away from the previous day's range, which is up here. And usually you at least come back and touch it. More times than not, it's not like a super strong statistic, but like I think it's 56% of the time on QQQ. And SPY, it's like 60% of the time that you come back to previous day's low at least. So that's what I'm kind of looking at here is here's previous days high and low. So I'm just looking to come back and touch this. But I was using fib levels, like confluence, a little bit of everything. And this was also gap fill and spy, basically the gap that was left yesterday. So, yep, there's that. All right, give us one more push. Let's get that 200 points locked in. And we have a relaxing day. This could drop 40, 50, 60 points here pretty easily, as thin as it is and as quick as that ran up. I would much rather it not make a lower low. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, like a candle by candle flip. The video looks like a bear flag. Energy's strong. That's helpful. Our bank's strong. Yeah, energy's pushing up. Banks are strong. Banks are green. Wells Fargo's way up on there. They had earnings, I believe, didn't they? Yeah. So Wells Fargo reported good earnings. JPM didn't. But in general, the banks are strong since the open, at least. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry, we'll take a look at that. We got to get that first hour of data. For now, you have the high here and the low here. If this pushes up, though, that's going to make this a super bullish IB. If we have 15 minutes or so, if we finish 15 minutes above this area right here, so like on NQ, if we finish above 640 the first hour, that means we have a bullish opening candle and a bullish IB. I don't know. That could be some rocket fuel. Now, if we reject right here and go back down and don't hold here, obviously things could look very different in 15 minutes. So we'll just keep that in mind. But I'm hoping to get this 200 points here locked in. Got my order resting, waiting to alert whenever I hear everything go off here. There it is. 200 points. Boom! All right. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. No, I'm just kidding. All right, boom goes dynamite. You guys remember that video? Remember the guy that he was like trying to do he was trying to be a sportscaster or sports announcer or whatever. Uh was it wasn't like Sports Center or whatever, it was like but some like college kid was trying to learn and he was like and he's like shoots a three or something, he's like and boom goes the dynamite. All right, let's see what happens in the next few minutes though. ES looks really good. All right. What's up, Dom? Good to see you stopping by. Dom, can we fill the gap? Ugh. So, from a probability standpoint, it depends which gap you want to talk about. Here, let me just go to QQQ to make this a little bit clearer. Um, the main target should be the previous day's low, which you go to your daily chart. So that's previous day's low. If you're looking at that as the gap, then yes, I do think that's a pretty decent chance. It's greater than a 50-50 probability in general, but based on context and price action, I think that is a high confluence type of move back to there. You got to watch SPY too. One of them does it. You kind of got to be careful. So like if you're long Qs but SPY does it, then you want to get back out. If you're talking about the actual gap to where we closed yesterday, that's a different story because that's a lot bigger gap. Look at ES. Oh my gosh. What a freaking snipe, though. That definitely helps out. Yeah, Dom, see, are you looking at ES there? Let me go to ES. So here's what I see on ES. We just got over the biggest key, which was like right here. You get over that, I think you go 50 points higher, which yesterday, so you at least get another 10 points on ES here. And look at SPX. So SPX 6,600. This was a huge spot. So you're looking for 8 points higher or so. And then hopefully, I mean, I would love to do this. All right, team. Yeah, Vladimir, let's tamper our expectations. I would love that to happen, but let's tamper our expectations. I mean, that's another 250 points. Crazier things have happened, but are we going to get a 500 point day? We could. I don't even know what to do now. All right. Come on, give me those 300 points. Oh my God. Oh, we're so close, aren't we? 290? Come on. I'll walk through. Sorry, I'm gonna go through a full trade review here in just a little bit. Our IB is going to be massively bullish now, but we just ran 300 points basically off the low here. Oh, come on, fill me. 300 point. Wow, what a day already. Is so right, Dom. So, like, part of the mechanics of this, you think about the bond market were closed yesterday, and those people didn't get in. Come on, wick up there to 26. Just give me 300 points. There it is. Boom. 300 points. All right, I do want to look at some of the IB stats here. So, first hour of the market. Let me just turn off some of these drawings. So, first hour of the market. This is where we opened the first hour. This is where we closed the first hour. That's a bullish opening hour. Okay. IB, high form second, the low form first, high form second. That's bullish that we should break that, which I think we just did on this wick already. But the directional bias is going to be this. All right. Well, I don't have a whole lot to do here, so I can talk through some things. I was kind of looking at the data and kind of looking at some other names over on my other screen. Um, so we just think about NQ or QQQ, either one. The gap fill is not likely, so I'm not going to look at the gap fill really, but I am going to look at the IB. We've already broken one side, but for us to reverse is not common. But let's just look at it either way. So by rejection. And if I zoom in here, like you can see the wick went just above. It's already broke that first hour, but the same thought process uh, applies. I don't know how to explain that. Low form first, look at this, 83% of the time you break the high. And we kind of already played that out, but to me, I think that's still kind of like your bullish confluence. This retracement area, you should retrace down to here. That's 650. So if you're looking for a spot to maybe get in, or if you're trying to short up here, that's your spot, 650 on NQ. I don't know if you're gonna get it. The other thing, that's the IB by retracement. So when you break out 64% of the time, you come back to that 25% level, which is right here, this gray bar. This gray bar right here. So you see this is the middle. Like if you go top to bottom, you can see this is 50%, 25%, 75%. So it's just like this would be half of the range. This would be a quarter of the range. You come back to here 64% of the time. That's also kind of lines up with this action. So that would be the area I'd be interested in if I was looking to try to long again. The other thing you have now is opening candle continuation. This is a strong report. If you haven't looked at this report yet, and now you're getting a new high already. 79% of the time we should have a green day. What does that mean? That means from this open right here, so 640, 79, basically 80% of the time, we're going to close above that. So that's your bullish confluence. The IB is your bullish confluence. Now, am I going to push longs into this right here? Probably not. Let's go look at QQQ. Did we get our target? Yes. Previous day's low. So the other statistic, and part of what I was looking at, outside days. So this report on outside days, and I'm going to go to QQQ because that's the chart I'm on. If you trade NQ, you should be able to look at QQQ stats and vice versa. So QQQ, bearish outside day, which means we open below the previous day's range. Let's take a look at that. Previous day's range was from here to here. And like you can see, so really if I just encapsulate it, there's previous day's range, there's where we opened. So previous day's range, this is where we opened. So at some point, more times than not, you come back to at least touch that. And if you look at a daily chart, you see SPY just finished it. There it is, right there on QQQ. All right. problem is this still doesn't clarify anything for me in the bigger picture. But hopefully hopefully at least that part. Now if I go back to this and hide, let me just hide the indicator. So this is drawings only. So I drew a fib from this swing low right here to the high that we made. I drew this on Friday while we were falling because I wanted to see, like, as we were coming down level by level by level, you know, what we were doing. So this was the low, right? And then this right here is the first extension of that low. And then when I went to this low and drew the same fib retracement, a bunch of these levels were all lining up. So that told me that these levels were going to be super key. Now, this right here, there's two. You can kind of see, it's hard to tell, but you can kind of see there's two here. Let me see if I can see if I flash this on and off. You see how that's lining up with that? And let me flash off the other one. You see if I flash this on and off, you see how I drew fibs from two different spots that lined up? That tells me that there's more confluence in those fibs than anything, like than just a random fib. I'm getting it lined up from two different directions. I like that. And then today, this low lined up here and here. It also lined up with the fib extension from that one. So here's the move, here's the retracement, here's the extension of the retracement. Boom, right there. All right. But yeah, that's the main pieces of what I saw. Dom, I grabbed some calls down there as well when we were falling. While I was waiting on that level, I grabbed some calls. The hard thing is going to be is if Vic starts crushing down, even though the calls are working out. Like as VIX crushes, this is working against your calls in a way. So that part is interesting. What's gold doing? Nothing. Ooh, oil. Oof. See what some of these other names are doing. Nvidia is struggling. Netflix came roaring back. Okay. Meta strong. Google took out yesterday's highs. Wow. Broadcom. Walmart. All right. Boy, CRM, I need you to get going. So I want them to sell the news on me on CRM. All right, chat, what are we doing? Appreciate that, Patrick. Kind words. Yeah, good morning to you. What's up, chat? For those that are in, if you're on X, if you're on YouTube, I can see all of your chats. I can highlight them on the screen. I know you can't see each other's chats. If I do this, I think you can. But then my screen gets too small. That's what's going on if you're in the other chat. Really, Robert? You're gonna make me pull up my phone. I told George, I was talking to George from Prospera the other day. I told him we got to get wow, Palantir is on this. Meta, ARM, Google, UNH, Baba, Oracle, Wingstop, Intel, and Amazon. All right. What happened, Bitcoin? No notification. Did the bell not go off for you? I don't know if you have notifications on. I always try to tweet it whenever I go live, and I always try to like. I don't know. That's weird if you didn't get a notification from YouTube. Yeah, Robert, I was just looking through. Actually, Wingstop is on there, which is very interesting to me. I can't trade Wingstop. I saw that on there on that Prospero list, though. Palantir off the 50-day. It's so hard to trade Palantir for me, but if you're gonna take a shot at Palantir, if you took a short, you could try to aim for this. I think you're dip buying 650, 640. But after you make a 300 plus point move, like I usually just don't do anything. I'm gonna have homework tonight. The ones with a lot of strength today and yesterday, I'm gonna be adding. Yes. So that's one thing. So like you've got to sift through it because the homework piece is important, right? Because if you look through and you say, well, what's strong today? You have to sift through. Okay, well, did it have a news candle today, like Walmart? I really need CRM to get going. What's PanW doing? Oh, that's an interesting split pan W. There's your back test. QCOM. I don't know, Bitcoin. I'm not. I think shorts are kind of off the table for me. The reason being is because this to me was such a bullish move. The bond market being closed yesterday, I think a lot of people probably missed out on this, so they like let it come back down here and got in. Um, but if you're short here after a 300-point run to get a 50-point pullback, like I completely understand that trade. And then your IB by retracement, 25% level, right there, 650. So I mean, that's a 50 to 70-point trade. I don't hate this trade at all from both of you guys. I do not hate this trade at all. I just don't want to like flip and then flip. I would rather see this come back down to here and then check it out. So like you have VWAP there, you have the 21 catching up, and you have a lot of traffic. There's the EMA 9 for the first time on ES. I don't know. So NVIDIA does not look good, by the way. NVIDIA, this is bear flaggy. But is the bear flag play out to here and hold? Maybe. NVIDIA is going to tell you it's probably wanting to come down there. Netflix is fine. Microsoft, basically, it's fine. Meta's fine. Google looks great. Costco looks good. Broadcom, kind of similar to NVIDIA. Let's see what the 5-minute looks like. Yeah, this is the best thing I've ever seen, but so it's NVIDIA and Broadcom that don't look good. Amazon's good. Apple looks good. So your top mega cap, top 10 QQQ NASDAQ stocks, you have two that don't look good, and you have several that do look good. Oh, they put an update out. I gotta log back in. Oh, we have POW. I can't forget that we have POW coming up. You gotta watch this 500 spot, like right here. Pretty big area. Basically right here where we just bounced is a level on NDX. Yeah, even though I like this down here, the 500's a level. So if this plays out to here and then the candle like closes back up here. Right now, between here and probably here, this is probably no man's land, to be completely honest. So, yeah, this is kind of no man's land. You really want to hold. The only thing you have is like 650 area. Like this low over here, when this happened the other day, 673, it's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, I have a lot of things in that area, which I know I have too many fibs drawn here, but 627 up to 650 is the big area. All right, I gotta try to slide this over without moving it. There we go. All right, so mostly bullish. I mean, this bearish stuff, you have gap fill. Yeah. So it's more bullish than bearish, but nothing like too crazy. Ooh, Will sliding in with a short SPX. Yeah. Which, so just to clarify the terminology here, this is gap fill from the session. So, or from like the entire like daily candle. So you came back, you hit previous day's low after opening up down here below it. You came back to previous day's low, which we opened up here. You came back to previous day's low here. So in your daily chart, there's not a gap, but the actual gap fill is up to here. There's two different ways to look at it as a gap, right? So like on SPX, for example, this is actually closing price. This is, a gap that I watch more, closing price. That's what Edgeful statistics base off of the most. But the other one you got to watch out for, which I did talk about, was you open up down here, you try to come back to previous day's low. Not a bad spot to take a shot at a short there. But to me, this is a bullish move. I'm just not excited to try to short. This kind of no man's land. You're against this, but you're holding this. Yeah, I don't blame you for taking a shot there. I don't like how you didn't really get much of a reaction here. Let's go down to like a smaller time frame. Yeah, you're not getting much of a reaction here. You're getting buy reactions as the EMA catches up. See, my problem is like if you're looking for a bearish move, you're looking for a bearish trade, it's just so tough right here. If this accepts back over right here, like to me that is a super bullish, if we accept back into yesterday's range, super bullish. And the way we came down here and got bought up like this, I mean, normally, yeah, you should reject and come back to here. But the way this is acting, just what price action's telling me, and the context of this move, to me, I don't want to look for shorts, just personally. I would rather buy down here, or if this pushes up and it comes back and holds, I'd rather do something like that. Yep, new high right there. New high, yeah. So, uh, in different contexts, I absolutely love trying to short that back down a little bit, but because of this move being so like, I mean, this was a rapid move, and then you pull back and look, the EMA9 catches up, and you immediately, I mean, look at this buy reaction, immediately getting bought back up, and you've accepted back into the previous day's range now. I could see this easily happening. You guys are cracking me up in the chat. This is huge right here. This is huge. So discipline. Like a big move happened. It's so easy for me to want to push longs harder. It's so easy for me to want to try to short this and like overthink and just put myself in a bad spot. Good Lord. Is this going to turn into a 400-point trade? So now I think you're adding on this pullback. I think you could add 720s on the pullback now. See, like, even though this is the high percentage of happening, I mean, this could take all day to come back and do like this too, right? That's still in the cards. But this I mean, the fact that we ran 300 points and they couldn't even pull back like 50 of that. I mean, I think about that. So we went 315 points and we couldn't even pull back like, yeah, 85, 70 of that. We pulled back 60 out of 315. I mean, quick math on that. What's a quarter of 300? Like 75. So we couldn't even pull back 25% of this whole move. Well, that was some quick math right there in my head. How about that? Yeah, I love this trading with discipline. Like, really being patient, waiting for levels and areas or waiting for confirmation has helped. I struggle with that still. I get a little too excited sometimes. I'll put myself in a bad spot, getting a trade a little too early, and I'm fighting back. But that's that's the general thought process I do is, okay, what can I do to make things like the most. Gosh, I have way too many lines on this chart now. This chart looks gross. I think I gotta get rid. I think I gotta go with this. Yeah. So, I, you wait for your spots, and then you get the confirmation with the trade, or you wait for, like, I don't know, like, for example, you wait for something to like really tell you. So, like, I mean, I don't really have an example of that now, but like, like I'd want to see like a candle close right here. I don't know. Anytime there's like a big move, I mean, like, I know you get a big, like, this seemed like a big move down, but it was like kind of like you can get that snap back a little bit. But like in this case, you had this and then this. To me, that like could set up some of this, or it could set up something like this, and then you get down here, and then you figure out what's going to go on. I don't know. It's just some context. Yeah, well, I keep looking at this. Nvidia not looking good. Broadcom not looking great. Broadcom has a reason to, though. Broadcom had a big day yesterday, I think it was. Yeah. Let me go back to 15-minute. So Broadcom, even though it's relatively weak, but it had this day yesterday, like a huge day yesterday because of the news pre-market. Nvidia, on the other hand, yesterday was relatively weak compared to the market. Look at this, lower highs all day. And then today it's our weakest player, and that's your heaviest weighted stock. So that's kind of like the little anchor that the market's kind of dragging this morning. Microsoft not really doing a whole lot. It's getting a little bit better today, but Microsoft, that's your other big anchor, right? Apple, not really helping the case a whole lot. Tell you what, on the daily chart, well, in you, this is one of my bigger positions. I really like this. Sorry, I was going to the data. I get distracted. I see other things. I have ADHD really bad, guys. All right. But yeah, so it's daily. We kind of tested the bottom end again. I mean, here's that pop up in the middle, come back down, test the bottom. Do we push up and test the like here's your 21 and your 9 EMA. This green is your 20 simple. But we're kind of smack between some stuff here. So like to me, the daily picture is not clear for like direction, but it is clear for like trading direction, like day by day. We're stuck under that right there. It's interesting. Okay. If we get back over 920, honestly, yeah, if we get back over 900s, 900 to 920, I agree with you, BB. I mean, just bears are just cooked. Typing out a little tweet of this real fast. All right. Let me get back to you guys in the chat. What are we doing? Oh, Apple pulled in. Pretty big battle going on up here. You guys and you may have just been a tad early to that short. This could play out still, but I'm not going to take it. I would much rather look to buy something down here. I know your EMA is catching up. Your VWAP's down here. 21 EMA is catching up. You just buy the 9. I mean, ES looks stronger. And I was looking at, I know my man Will in the chat's been looking at this too a little bit. Look what Energy and Banks are doing today, which have been the weaker two spots in the market. So tech is a little bit weaker today, but look at your banks. Of course, we did have some earnings this morning, and then look at your energy. So those two weighted sectors, which I mean, Will's a CMT. He knows that. I guarantee it's all over his screen. All right. And we're basically right in the midpoint still of Friday's down candle. All right, let's catch him back up here. Cliff, I just saw the Abacus one. AMD sideways. AMD, didn't they have, I think AMD had pre-market news. Yeah, it did. Pre-market news, go sideways. Anytime something has pre-market news, I just almost expect it to just do this. Just nothing. I kind of like this right here. Take left hand, place under left butt cheek, right hand under right butt cheek. What do I think about Zeta? My man Knots loves this stock. I look at this chart and I don't like that it lost the 50-day, but this is an interesting area to hold. I would probably look to buy more down here on the 200-day and these highs. Maybe a wick down to fill this gap at some point. That would be a nice risk reward setup. Otherwise, I need this to probably like reclaim back up here, back over 20. But Knox has done a lot of DD on this actual stock and the actual like actual story. So everything I've heard is positive on that side, so it does have that going for it. That's about all I have with Zeta. E-Tech Fast, what's up? Playing some NQ. I had a little 300-point long on NQ so far. I've just got a little bit of runners left here at this point, but locked in trims all along the way here. So doing good. I did see Apple Apple fading pretty hard. Cliff, you trying to Bob Barker? It's not Bob Barker anymore. It's what's his name? Drew Carey. Price is Right. Drew Carey. But boy, Bob Barker, what a legend! What a legend! What's VIX doing? Previous day high on VIX needs to get under that. It's holding it for now. Needs to get under that and start falling. I kind of want VIX to slowly fall though, because I want the calls to stay juiced. I wouldn't be opposed to if VIX kind of just like slowly trickles here, and the market does this. Because if VIX falls off a cliff, even though the market goes up, your calls are gonna like kind of be fighting against that, losing some of the juice there. Yeah, Drew Carey. I'm not a big fan. It's hard to watch Prices Right these days. Mario, I most any other day I would probably either be in the short or I'd be cheering for that short to happen. Let me hide these drawings again. This right here, 25% retracement of the IB. Still very possible today. The statistics still there, just I mean, it's 64% time. But the one thing would be this move. It feels like people are having to chase. When a move like this happens, it feels like people are chasing this. I don't really have much I can do risk reward wise here. I mean, I think you could short against 725 to 750. So I think you can short against this zone looking for this, but you're fighting the like reclaim. So if this gets into previous day's low and holds, what does this look like even on a smaller time frame? Yeah, if you fell right here, it's it's fine. So I mean, I guess you have defined risk reward here. You have a pretty defined, probably like this risk reward, but we'll see if it plays out. Um, yeah. What indicators do I have on my chart? Well, Matt, I have a lot of indicators on my chart, but I use a bunch of different charts. So this kind of like setup here, these are almost all Edgeful indicators. So I have the IB initial balance indicator, which marks the high and low of the first hour. You see where it fills in this green right here. This fills in where that first hour of the market was, marks that high and the low. It also marks the midpoint in the 25% and 75% like of the range. This red zone right here, this is the gap fill. So the top of this is where the gap would actually fill. So that one's on here. That's another Edgeful indicator. All these are included with Edgeful, by the way. Actually, on this IB one, you can see there's your 0.5 extension. And there's your one full range extension. So like on NQ, your 0.5 extension would take you to here, 875, and your gap fill would take you to 920. On this chart setup, I have the 30-minute orb, which is from Edgeful. And then I have the orange line. This is the VWAP. I have a 9 and 21 EMA. This is the 233 EMA actually that I use. I think that's all I have on here. Yeah. And then on my daily, I just have EMAs and SMAs. I have a 200, a 50, and a 20 simple. I have a 9 and 21, 9, 21 EMA. And then this is kind of my little special 233 EMA. That's something I kind of personally have. But most of them, especially on this chart setup right here, most of these are in like I have previous week's range that I can flip on. Fibonacci by session. This automatically uses yesterday's New York and puts Fibonacci lines on here. So I have all of that too that I can just flip on. Pretty much all of these I have on here are Edgeful, and if you have Edgeful, you get all of these. Look at all these. I mean, you get all of these included with the reports and all that other stuff. You get all these in here. So there's that. Mario's still alive in that short. Still alive in that short. So this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier. I said this not too long ago. Big move down, big move up, consolidate. Market runs, market rests. Right now, you've got big move down, big move up, and you're trying to figure out, is this going to make a flag? Is it going to kind of just distribution and come back down? I don't know. I'm not here to predict that piece. I mean, I could make an educated guess, but yeah. All right, guys, about to run out of time here. Biggest keys for me, opening candle continuation, this right here. Here, I can just go to the report. See this 79% will round, 79% green day. That means since we open the day here, the first hour, and we close the first hour here, that's a green first hour. So this green first hour, which tells me that there's a 79% chance to close above this today. So that's the strongest thing that I have. The gap fill is unlikely. And because we broke previous day's low, for example, we broke previous day's low, obviously, it's broken to the downside. Closing up here is unlikely as well, but closing above here is likely. The IB, your initial balance, unlikely to break this side. Really, it's technically unlikely to even come below the midpoint. I think if you even saw a midpoint on the IB, you would want a long. Even if you saw down here, you'd want to try that type of move. Only dip buy I'm really interested in is here. I don't even know if this gets over and does something like this, I don't even know if I can get long up any higher, to be honest. It may just be like that was my one big trade for the day, which I'm fine with, right? And I had a trade last night, so it's going to be a big nice day for me either way. But Powell talks in a little bit, 12:20. So what's that in about an hour, 50 minutes? And that's where we're at. Appreciate everyone tuning in this morning. If anybody hasn't tried Edgeful, let me drop a link down here. If you're on YouTube, this link's going in the YouTube chat. If you're on X, you'll just have to shoot me a DM and I can get it to you. But if you have not tried Edgeful, if you haven't tried Edgeful, do it for a month. And I say that because I'm dropping this link in here. When you go to checkout, you'll get 7 days free using my link. Either way, kind of take a look around before you get charged. Like you have to put in your payment and all that stuff, but if you cancel within 7 days, it won't charge you. But if you're trying to learn a new tool with trading, 7 days, that's 5 trading days. Are you really going to learn something in 5 days? My argument would be no. My argument would be you need to try it for a month. But I mean, the indicators are almost worth the price of admission themselves. But these reports are just crazy. I go over here. What's in play? Let me find it. What's in play? This is look. I have bullish. I have bullish. I have bullish. This was a breakout with no retracement so far. So this is neutral because we were down below, but bearish. This is bearish because this is the gap fill. But hey, there's a ton of super valuable directional information just right here on this one page. All right, guys, I gotta log out. I appreciate everyone coming in. Hope you made money this morning or didn't lose money, one of the two. And we'll catch you guys on Thursday. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah. Thursday, right at the open, same place right here. Wolf Financial or Edgeful, YouTube or X. This stream goes out to 4 places. So whatever you guys are comfortable with. Appreciate everyone joining. Shout out to the whole chat. I saw Brad slide in here, Cliff, Bitcoin, Mario, my man Will over on X, eTech Fast. Who else is in here? Who am I missing? Did I say Matt? Robert. I know I said Bitcoin. There was Vladimir. Vladimir was in here. Dom. Patrick, I remember earlier. I'm trying to remember who else was even in here. But I appreciate all you guys. Simon swung by a little bit earlier as well. Simon, sorry if I missed your question earlier, Simon. I don't look at the 5-minute orb, but I didn't get to it just yet. So sorry about that. I'll catch you guys around though. Thursday right here. I do stream a lot on Wolf Trading as well, so make sure you check out Wolf Trading's YouTube channel. And then outside of that, it's all X Spaces and Discord. I'm always somewhere live trading, giving thoughts. All right, guys, I'm out. See you guys.